So let's go to the last section, sure. Immigration procedure. So this question for Carrie, because you mentioned there's a quite different structure of the RES program in local county from other communities.
Yeah, so through the rural entrepreneur stream, we take applications a little bit different. Well, I guess we don't take the application at all, but when a business is interested, we actually request like a starter business plan. And I understand it's not going to be a full business plan that that the Alberta government is going to require later on in the application process, but we do request that starter business plan, and that actually just puts a little bit more work on the person that is trying to get into the program. And the reason for that is actually just the lack of resources. So we want to make sure that you know, number one, that this is a rural county, because a lot of the times Lacombe County is mistaken for the city of Lacombe, because a lot of times we're just called Lacombe. So lots of people think that we have that downtown core and they want to put a business in, and so it's just an opportunity for them to take a look at how big our border is, what type of what area are you looking for, maybe take a look in to see how much leases on lands are going to cost, how much money you're actually going to need to invest, because I know on the Alberta website it says you need $100,000, so everybody likes to say I have $100,000 to invest, but is that going to be enough for your business to start? So those types of things, just line items. It doesn't have to be fully but an idea of what you want to do within our county and the area and what you want to do it in. Once we receive that, we take a look at it, make sure that the business is going to be successful in our county. Again, like we said, maybe we don't want that women's fashion store up in the most west north side of Lacombe County, because that's not really great traffic, and how are you going to get people there? So an opportunity to sort of say, that might not be the best place for that, or those types of things, and make sure that it is a fit. And then we open up to having that meeting with that particular person to show them around the county, especially in the area that they want to be in. Not just the areas that maybe they've identified, but other areas that maybe we feel would be really great for that type of business. Our county is a little bit bigger. If I took everybody that requested a meeting with me on a tour of Lacombe County, I would do nothing but that.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
So our process is just a little bit backwards than I believe a lot of other municipalities are, because we want to see the fit first. We want to see where you're kind of aiming for, and then take you on that visit of that area, so that we can make sure that we have a successful applicant once you apply through the program.
So exploratory visit is mandatory. That people must.
You must have that meeting before the county can write a letter on your behalf and send it in for the application process.
Mm-hmm. Is a meeting with you in person or virtually?
It could be either or. I definitely, again, all probably dependent on that business plan as well. Like, if your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and like this is a business plan ready to be handed into the Alberta government, maybe we could do an online meeting for sure. But if you want to explore the county, again, because of the size of it, and maybe there might be an opportunity on the west side, but then there might be also an opportunity on that east side. It would be nice for you to see the difference in the agriculture or in the land.
Okay. Do you usually give some advices after applicants send you the starter BP business plan?
Yeah, like if I feel like I need more details on something, absolutely. This is just to get an idea of what they want to do and make sure that they understand where their investment is going.
Okay. I guess it must keep you quite busy. Yeah. Reviewing so many.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, right?
It is a lot. And that's sort of how Lacombe County went at it, is more serious people are going to do the work first. Mm-hmm. And then that, just because it takes a lot of resources to follow through with everything. So
yeah, that's true. That makes sense. I notice more and more counties and communities requiring the business plan, taking it seriously at the beginning, and then go ahead. Yeah. So how about the town of Black Forest? Same?
Similar in some ways, different in others. So for the most part, I take just about every meeting that gets requested of me. My belief is that the entrepreneur knows more about their business than I do. So if they believe that it's a good fit, then we will help them make it a good fit. So as soon as I get an email or a phone call about it, I generally will set up an exploratory visit online. It takes about half an hour to 45 minutes. We'll use Google Maps to go through and show the community that way. I don't have, like I mentioned earlier, we're a little bit lacking on a commercially available space. We're a little bit lacking on it, so it doesn't take me that long to go through and show those. The other part with all of that is that when we're showing the applicants these locations, somebody tomorrow could come in and lease that space. And so when they actually get here, it might not be here, it might not be available. The one next door to it could, and that sort of idea. So really the tour is about just understanding the market and where we're at today so that they can write that business plan with a little bit more knowledge and stronger information in it. From there, you know, if it's a pretty simple business, I'm fine to offer a support letter at that point. The process that I go for it, though, is I ask the applicant to write the support letter. They send it over to me to be edited and reviewed to make sure I agree with everything on it. Then I put it onto our Blackfellow's letterhead, and I'll still sign it and send it back, and then they can get in through the process. I do it this way just because it puts a little more onus onto themselves to do some of the work, as well as if I was writing those letters, I'd be writing them all the time. And this way they'd also get the turnaround on the letters back much quicker. I can usually do it in 48, 72 hours sort of thing. If somebody does also come in to meet in person, which I highly recommend, because this is your business, this is your life, you're investing everything into it. I would, if it was me, I would be doing everything to make sure I knew where my investment was going, and I trust that the applicant is doing the same thing. If they come in person, I do take them on a tour, which is about 2 hours at the end of it all, because my community is much smaller than yours. And basically, we'll do the virtual tour again in a boardroom like this, and then go out and do a little bit of a drive around the community so we can see some of those locations that are available and some of the things that are moving that way, as well as showing some of the opportunities that we have within our community around sport tourism and some of those other assets that way.
So as to the exploratory visit, the virtual one is okay, right?
Yep.
Not definitely is in person. No.
You don't have to do it in person, but
Okay.
personally, if I was the applicant looking to fly across the world to uproot my life and start it, I would go and do an in-person exploratory visit first.
Yeah, me too.
That's just me wanting to make sure that I know where my family's going.
I think we want to use this program for somebody to invest into our community and to live long term. It's not a stepping stone. We want to welcome you into our community so that you can be a part of the community.
Yeah, that's so true.
We want you to be successful, and I think that's why we do that starter business plan. Is if you're gonna start a business that might not fit well here, you're gonna have a tough go, and we don't want that. We want you to be successful.
Yeah.
The other part that I rely on throughout the process is I don't believe that the municipalities are the biggest roadblock or the biggest challenge.
I would agree.
That the applicants have to get over. Once you make it through us with a support letter and you get to the province, from what I understand, there are consultants that they've hired to review these business plans to make sure that they're good. I believe there's even a cost associated with getting your business plans reviewed. So again, if you're going to make it through us and get to that stage, that's the one those are the people that are going through it with a real fine-tooth comb and making sure that the numbers work and all of those pieces. And I personally rely on them a lot.
Yeah. So even the applicants get your letter of support, there is still any maybe refusal rate from the provincial government?
There has to be a refusal rate, but I'm not confident in what that number is.
With that, from my point of view, that information isn't communicated to us, and it won't be communicated to us.
I see. Okay. So, I mean, somebody already got the letter of support from you, from the communities, and then the provincial officers said, no, I don't agree this business proposal. Have any happened like that?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Again, like, as much as our names are on the provincial government website saying like, Lacombe County, Carrie Taylor, she's in charge of Lacombe County for the applications. As soon as I write that letter of support or I support this entrepreneur into going into this program, it is now in the hands of the government of Alberta. So it is the government of Alberta's program. We are just the first step, and they take our letter of support saying like, oh yeah, they think that this business would be good in their municipality, and other than that, that's all we know. We only know what letters we've given the Alberta government, and after that, there's not really any communication back. So once you're an applicant, once you receive that letter and you're now an applicant through the Alberta government stream, all the communication will be within the government and the applicant. We're cut out.
Okay, so that's a very important message.
Very important, yeah.
My clients, yeah.
And to come back to us and be like, hey, how's my application going? We would like to tell you, but we have no idea. We actually don't even know the process and the steps that the Alberta government takes after they get these letters in. There are a number of different streams within that program as well. I know that other streams are quite saturated. I don't know if this stream is saturated or not. So all of that type of information doesn't ever seem to get back to us, even if we reach out and ask.
Okay, even after the applicants got work permit and start their business running here, landing in Canada and landing in Lacombe County.
Yep.
So will the provincial officer inquiry about you? How is everything going? They never do that.
So once the applicant is successful within the program and you're ready to start your business, the only way that I would know is if you came back in and talked to me. So the applicant, if they can reach out and come back, we can help with development permits and setting you up with those types of collaborations, whether it's with the planning team or if you need infrastructure, we can get public works and operations involved in those types of things, or maybe you're looking for a collaboration to work with your neighbor and you want to get introduced to some other colleagues around. That's an opportunity that we can assist in. But unfortunately, the Alberta government doesn't let me know that they're successful, so it would be on them to come back to me and be like, remember when we met and you took me around? I'm here. So that would be really great.
Yeah. And Peter, is that
same? Yeah, I've only heard back from one business, and that one business was letting me know that they chose to go to a different community.
Oh.
And that's all I've ever heard.
Okay.
I've submitted probably close to 30 letters so far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
I've submitted 10, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so far?
So far.
Okay. So except for the requirement from the provincial governments, is there any specific or other actual criteria or expectation from the foreign investors?
For the county itself?
For the county,
to get into the program, or after to get into the program, like I said, just that starter business plan. You can email me and say that you're interested in the program. I'm going to email you back saying that we request this. So for the county of Lacombe, it would just be that starter business plan that I think that we recommend. After you're successful, that would be a little bit different because we would have, after you've been successful, there will be different things starting a business, if you're building a building, you're going to need a development plan and have to come in and talk to planning and those types of things. So there'll be a process after that we would have to follow.
Okay.
We have no expectations or criteria to be involved in the program, other than making your way through the program and being successful that way. Our belief is that if you're successful that way, then we should be able to help you be successful in our community.
Okay, great. Okay, we are done. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
So there's some machines, and because I want my clients to understand what kind of facilities.
That's one of them in there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one that's kind of in the corner. That's the old contact.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We don't tend to use that one very much.